truly help us is surprise, and I would have liked that kind of tactical surprise. But nonetheless, I understand some of the challenges here. We waited too long to get the targetable information. We were taking satellite photos. We were taking standoff aircraft photos, and we needed to get some other targetable information in there. That was the president's decision in waiting too long. But nonetheless, let's put the past in the past. We're here now.
Yep.
We've got something that makes sense, and hopefully we'll be relentless in the pursuit of this enemy. And frankly, we've got a good chance to get after ISIS in Syria, where most of their support infrastructure is, and do some real damage to it.
And so our viewers know, as the lower third on the screen tells you, we have begun airstrikes in Syria, a U.S.-led operation, a coalition involving the United States of America and 5 Arab countries, all Sunni countries. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Jordan, Bahrain, and Qatar in there, fighting alongside of the United States. The operation, General Keane, is described as Tomahawk missiles have already been fired from the destroyer. We will also, F-18s are flying missions off of the USS George H.W. Bush in the Persian Gulf. We are flying bombers, fighters, and drones, expected to hit around 20 targets inside of Syria. Is that the size of the operation you would anticipate, at least on day one?
Well, look, this is never going to compare to what we did in Kosovo, what we did in 2001 against the Taliban government that was running the country, and nor is it going to compare to what we did in 2003. There, we had huge infrastructure and lots of targets. This has always been what we described it at, and what we wanted. It's limited and it's specialized. So the number of targets are not comparable. The point is, what those targets represent and destroying them is the most important thing. So the scale of it will be less than what we've seen in the past, but nonetheless, it'll be very important in terms of its consequences on the enemy.
How long do you think this is going to take? I know that's a difficult question, General, but when you hear Congressman King say this could be the beginning of a years-long conflict, you know the feeling that evokes in so many people here in the States.
I doubt if the airstrikes in Syria would persist in that time frame. We will strike as long as there are targets to strike. It's that simple. And if those targets are exposed to us, we will strike. And you know, Megan, we're going to be very careful here in striking these targets. We know for a fact that they've tried to protect and conceal some of these targets with people who are in Syria, and we will do everything we can, not to impact on people. This is our value-based system that the military uses every single day in executing warfare. So that also protracts it. It makes it longer because we discriminate, and we're going to do everything we can to avoid hurting people unnecessarily. And the fact of the matter is, as long as there are targets to strike, we will strike.
How will this group fight back? They seem so courageous when they have women and children and unarmed men running from them, or unarmed hostages for that matter. How will they fight back against this kind of air power?